Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only Animation Legends, and yeah guys, today I am back with another series for you guys, which is gonna be what if Naruto was betrayed by everyone and was sent back in time to save the Uzumaki clan with the power of the Ten Tails. So yeah guys, this is gonna be really OP of a series, so hopefully you guys will like it. And before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be very helpful to me as I want to reach 20k subscribers, and you guys subscribing would be really appreciated. So without any further ado, let us start the video. So I'm gonna start my story with our protagonist Uzumaki Naruto at the age of 16. At the moment, he was surrounded by the elites of all the villages. The five Kages were surrounding him, and in the ground there was a gigantic ceiling array, and Naruto was stopped in the center of it. If you want to understand how Naruto Uzumaki came to this situation, you would have to go into flashback 2 years ago at the fourth Great Ninja War. The Kaguya was about to be sealed away by Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi, but in her last moment, she decided to have her revenge. She unleashed the power of the Ten Tails from her body, separating the Ten Tails, and used lots of her power to expel everyone into the real world from her little dimension. As everyone was shocked to see that the Ten Tails has arrived, but the Sage of the Sixth Path did not have enough power to split the Ten Tails into the nine Bijus once again, while on the other hand Sasuke and Naruto have already used their power to seal away Kaguya. So in the last moments, Hagoromo decided to use all of his power to seal the Ten Tails inside of Naruto, and even bestowing his last of his power to Naruto, thus granting him the Rinnegan. As everyone was taken aback by this decision, but that was the worst start of a nightmare for Naruto. With the power of the Nine Tails, he was already one of the most powerful shinobi alive. But now, since he had the full power of the Ten Tails, he was scared. He was feared by everyone. All the villages were scared of Naruto's power. Even Konoha, where he was considered to be a hero, he could not tolerate their fear towards him, as everyone looked towards Naruto as if he is gonna lose control of the Ten Tails, and the Ten Tails will return back to the world. So therefore, Tsunade decided to, you can say, temporarily expel Naruto to the Uzumaki land, and he has to remain there. But the fear did not stop there. All the villages decided that Naruto Uzumaki was simply too powerful, and he must be, and for the good of the shinobi world, he must be sealed away. So they decided to gather all the knowledge which they have stolen from the Uzumaki clan previously, and finally made a powerful seal that will seal Naruto in a separate dimension. From there, he would not be able to leave, as Sasuke Uchiha in this timeline never had a final battle with Naruto, so he was still not a, you can say, considered to be a good person. After all, Naruto had the power of the Ten Tails, and Sasuke did not have the guts to fight against Naruto anymore, even with the power of the Rinnegan. So he explained that when he was sealed away in a separate dimension of Kaguya, he was unable to escape using his Rinnegan, so Naruto should not be able to escape using his Rinnegan as well. So all the shinobi villages decided that they will seal away Naruto in a separate dimension. And this was the point. They were standing here as Naruto looked towards Tsunade, who simply looked away. Granny Tsunade, we should not have come to this point. Is it even necessary? You know me, I will never hurt everyone. Not Konoha and not the other villages. As Tsunade sigh, I know that, Naruto. But this is a decision we, all the villages, has made. You're powerful. You are far too powerful for this world and for the good of the shinobi world. You must be sealed away, Naruto. Even your father, the fourth Hokage, would agree with this decision. As Naruto gritted his teeth at that, he has given away too much for the world, for the shinobi world, for Konoha, and this is the point he has come to. He was safeguarding the power of the Ten Tails. He has told these people so many times that the seal made by Hagoromo was too powerful, and the Ten Tails cannot escape his body, but they never listen to him, always too fearful of him, always looking towards him as if he's gonna lose control of the Ten Tails at any points, and he will destroy the world. And this is the point they have come to. As Tsuchikage spoke up, enough of the lazy Tsunade. I've already told you, this Uzumaki brat, he should have been eliminated. Just like I told Sartobi Hiruzen all those years ago, the Uzumaki clan is simply too powerful, and just like all those years ago, our all five villages got together to destroy the Uzumaki clan, but that Hiruzen secretly took away that Kushina Uzumaki. This Uzumaki clan is simply too powerful and should have been eradicated all those years ago. Even Raikage spoke up. Tsuchikage is right, Hokage. Even that pain of the Akatsuki was a member of the Uzumaki clan, and this clan should have been destroyed by us all those years ago. As Naruto was taken aback at that, what are you talking about? As Tsuchikage smirked at that, well, you do not even know about your own heritage. At that, the Tsuchikage explained about the Uzumakis and how powerful they were and how they were eliminated by all the five villages, even when Konoha was supposed to be an ally, but they had to be eliminated. After all, they were simply far too powerful. As Naruto looked towards Tsunade in utter shock, wanted to confirm about these things. As Tsunade sighed, do not look towards me with those eyes, Naruto. I am also a descendant of the Uzumaki clan. My grandmother was a member of the Uzumaki, but I have to agree with the decision of the third Hokage. After all, for the good of the shinobi world, sacrifices have to be made, and the Uzumaki clan was simply far too powerful, Naruto. So you have to understand this decision. As Naruto gritted his teeth at that and looking towards everyone in utter anger. Not many people know that since the Ten Tails was sealed inside of Naruto, Naruto has changed. After all, Naruto's most forgiving property came from the Ashura chakra, but now Naruto has so many chakras inside of him. The chakra of the half of the nine tails that was already sealed inside of him. The power of the Ten Tails, the power of the Sage of Six Paths, his own chakra, the Ashura chakra. So the effect of Ashura chakra on him was decreasing year by year, and there were multiple times he had thoughts of revenge thanks to the influence of the power of the Ten Tails, and now the pure fury erupted from Naruto. He no longer wanted to be under the influence of any chakra. He only wanted to show his anger, his resolve, as he looked towards everyone. If you believe that you people are powerful enough to take me down, then bring it on. As Naruto started to channel the power of the Ten Tails, as all the five Kage looked towards each other and nodded at that as they activated their seal, ready to expel Naruto in a separate dimension. As Naruto could feel it, this seal had the power of the Rinnegan. As Naruto looked in a specific direction, as Sasuke Uchiha was standing there looking towards Naruto with his arrogant smirk on his face. After all, in this timeline, Naruto and Sasuke never had the final decisive battle, so Sasuke was still the same when he first entered in the fourth great ninja war, and Naruto surpassing him, the Indra chakra inside of Sasuke could never accept it. So therefore, his hatred towards Naruto is even greater than the original timeline. As Naruto let out a roar, he may be expelled from this time, but he will have his final revenge. As Naruto looked towards the moon and spoke one word that sent shivers through the spines of everyone. Gravitational pull. With that, the moon started to get closer and closer to the planets, and within seconds it was already inside the atmosphere of the planet. As all the shinobi looked towards Naruto and the moon that was descending towards them in utter shock and horror. They never thought that a day like this would come. It was really throwing a hammer to their own fates. With that, Naruto burst into laughter as the moon finally made contact with the planet. As a huge explosion and shockwave erupted as all the shinobis were in utter shock as Naruto was finally dispelled from this world. But because of the effect of the Ten Tails, Naruto was not expelled to a separate dimension but rather passed through space and time and has finally arrived in a separate time. As a huge explosion took place in the original timeline, as all the shinobis were finally in the effect area of the explosion, and the shinobi world has finally met its own end thanks to its greed of power and its fear. While on the side of Naruto, Naruto was floating in a space time for years, and finally he has finally arrived to its final location, a place that was around the sea. As Naruto opened his eyes and started to look around, wondering where he was. After all, he was supposed to be sealed away, but he could feel that his Rinnegan has interrupted that seal, that so-called seal, and it seemed that the sealing did not work properly. As Naruto started to stand up, he could feel that his body was weak, and he could feel the power of the nine tails and the ten tails inside of him, but it seemed to be depleted. Maybe these were the powers that have saved him from the time stream. As Naruto started to walk towards a direction, he could feel that his body was far too weak, and he saw that some people were running towards him. But Naruto, at this point, was finally out of gas and finally got unconscious. But unknown to him, three figures had already arrived beside him. And the strange thing about all these figures were that all of them had red hair. As Naruto finally got unconscious, as one of the members looked towards Naruto with a frown on his face. This boy, I could feel it, his chakra. It is similar to our own bloodline. It seemed to be half descendant of the Uzumaki clan. As one of the other Uzumaki spoke up, well, I did not knew that our members, a member of the Uzumaki clan could have a hair other than the red hair. As the other one spoke up, alright, he seemed to be injured. We should bring him back to the Uzushio. With that, they decided to grab Naruto and decided to run towards the Uzumaki village. While in the Uzumaki village, Uzumaki Ashina looked towards the reports. It seemed that things are off in the shinobi world lately. He has sent some messages to Uzumaki Mito, but there were no response from the Uzumaki Mito, and there are some strange movements in the shinobi world, and the messages he's sending to Hokage and the Uzumaki Mito seem to be delaying. In response, he could only hope that things will be good in the future. With that, Uzumaki Ashina looked outside towards his beloved village, and finally the door was slammed open as the Uzumaki stepped forward. Lord Ashina, we have found a half-blood Uzumaki at the shores of the beach. As Ashina looked toward this Uzumaki with an raised eyebrow at that, a half-blood Uzumaki. Well, this seemed to be interesting as he spoke. Well, where is he? As the other Uzumaki member spoke up, well, my lord, he seemed to be in the hospital and he seemed to be injured, so we brought him to the hospital. As Uzumaki Ashana raised an eyebrow at that but nodded nonetheless, so he decided to follow this Uzumaki as he finally arrived to the hospital and looking towards the unconscious form of Naruto. Uzumaki Ashina raised an eyebrow at that. He could feel it, the Uzumaki bloodline inside of this boy, and the powerful chakra. Even if depleted, he could feel the immense power of this chakra. He was wondering if this kid was a spy sent by some other villages. After all, they could have found some half-blood Uzumaki and sent as a spy to their village, but after sensing the immense power of his chakra, he decided to discard that idea. No shinobi village will send such a powerful shinobi here. He could feel that this kid is out of chakra, but the remaining chakra inside of him could already rival any Kage, and the strength of chakra is far above of anyone he has ever felt before, and he dares say that it was even greater than his own. As he frowned at that, as he gave a signal, as a doctor arrived beside him. What is his condition? As the Uzumaki medical ninja spoke up, well, my lord, he seemed to be exhausted, but other than that, there's nothing wrong with him. And we could feel that his injuries, whatever injuries he had, were already healing at a rapid rate, and it will not take much time for him to recover. I propose that by tomorrow, he will be awoke at full power. At that, Uzumaki Ashana raised an eyebrow at that. This kind of healing property and recovering of chakra, it was really something else, but nodded nonetheless. If he ever woke up, reported to me immediately. With that, Uzumaki Ashina decided to leave. After all, he wanted to spend some time with his beloved daughter, Kushina. She seemed to be growing up, and it seemed that some messages have been sent by Konoha regarding the situation amid Uzumaki lately. So he has to pay more attention to that aspect as well. So for that, Uzumaki Ashina decided to leave for now, while on the other hand, in the ceiling area, Naruto finally opened his eyes, and in front of him was the Nine Tails, who seemed to be have awoken up, but he seemed to be in a smaller form. As Kurama looked towards Naruto, well, Brad, you have finally woken up. Do you know how much chakra I have to use to protect you from the time stream? Even the Ten Tails have to use the power to protect you. What were you thinking, using that kind of power and disturbing even the flow of space and time? As Naruto chuckled at that, my apologies, Kurama. Maybe I put too much pressure on you. As Kurama scoffed at that, well, I must say that, brat, people may say I am a natural disaster, but you really did overdid there in the shinobi world. So, Naruto, raise an eyebrow at that. What are you talking about, Kurama? Are you saying that we are not in the shinobi world? As Naruto simply ignored what Kurama was trying to say, what he did to the original timeline, as Kurama simply looked towards Naruto and sighed at that. He know everything about Naruto from the very birth. He was with Naruto, and before birth, he was with Naruto. He knows every aspect of Naruto's life, his suffering, and he do not disagree with anything. After all, his siblings are still trapped inside the Ten Tails, and they do not have power to separate it. Even Naruto cannot separate the Ten Tails, even with the power of the Rinnegan. After all, Kaguya had did something with the Ten Tails, so they were unable to separate Ten Tails anymore. Only Kurama was present here. As Kurama sighed at that, the Shinobi world is definitely destroyed. The moon colliding with the earth. There is only one outcome of that, and that is utter destruction of the Shinobi world. As Kurama simply ignored it. Well, Brad, you have entered into the time stream and we have arrived in a different timeline. I can feel it. You are, at the moment, inside the Uzumaki village. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, he was a bit angry when Tsuchikage and Raikage told him about the Uzumaki clan, but he did not have much interaction with these people, so he feel a bit strange at that. Even listening about the Uzumaki village, it did not brought too much joy or anything about it. If you say so, Kurama, as Naruto decided to sit and sigh at that, he was simply too exhausted. For a better half of his life, he has tried to please people, tried to save people from themselves, from many other disasters and enemies, and in the end of the day, he was considered to be the most dangerous person there. And in the end of the day, maybe they were right. After all, Shinobi World did met their end in his hands. As Naruto sighed at that, he really did not want to do this, but since the time the Ten Tails was sealed inside of him, he could never feel that emotion of forgiving everyone. He felt anger, hatred, and all those emotions, and he simply cannot ignore it, just like he did when he was child. Maybe it was the effect of Ashura Chakra that was no longer affecting him anymore. After all, the 10th Jinchuriki cannot be affected with the power of Ashura or Indra. As Kurama finally spoke up, alright kid, do not think too much of it. If Shinobi world is destroyed, then it is destroyed. It has nothing to do with you. They have brought it upon themselves. But this is an opportunity for you, Naruto. You have a family in this timeline. I can feel it. Uzumaki Kushina has not left for Konoha. I can feel her presence. She is your mother. You can live with her in this timeline. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, this brought some, you can say, attention from Naruto. After all, Naruto do not have any hatred towards Uzumaki Kushina, maybe some anger towards Minato even after the 4th grade ninja war. And once the effect of Ashura Chakra on him lessened, he could feel immense anger towards Minato, but not too much hatred. After all, they have already fought together, and Naruto do not believe that Minato would agree with the decision of the 5 Kages, but he was still the Hokage, so he must be thinking about Konoha on Konoha's side, as Naruto ignored Minato's aspect, and at the moment, Naruto sighed. So, what are you talking about, Kurama? As Kurama spoke up, after Uzumaki Kushina left for the village of Konoha, all the 5 villages decided to get rid of the Uzumaki clan since Konoha wanted Kushina as a Jinchuriki, so they will not attack Uzumaki country until Kushina left the village. As Naruto looked towards Kurama. So you want me to save the Uzumaki clan? What is it? What even is the point? I do not know them. As Kurama looked towards him, Naruto, at this point, you need to do something in your life. Otherwise, you will only think of destruction and things like that. That is not you, Naruto. And I do not believe that all of your kindness was because of Ashura Chakra inside of you. You have to bring yourself together, Naruto. You are Uzumaki Naruto, and the world you were from maybe ended, but this is a new world, and this is your chance, Naruto. You can protect these people and protect the Bijus in this timeline as well and become a savior. You do not need to be the demon who ended the world, but rather the one who saved it. Those people brought it on themselves. It has nothing to do with you. As Naruto looked towards Kurama and a smile came to his face. You know, I never thought that you would be the one talking about the saving the world one day, and I will be the one talking about its destruction. With that, Naruto burst into laughter as Kurama gave a smile to Naruto, Gogaki, and showed them who Uzumaki Naruto truly is. As Naruto smiled in the outside world, Naruto finally opened his eyes. His chakra levels were recovering fast and rapidly, while inside of his mind, Kurama was growing by second thanks to the immense power of natural energy in this planet. As Naruto finally woke up, as the Uzumakis around him looked towards Naruto and smiled at that, well, Uzumaki boy, what is your name? Our lord and the head of the Uzumaki clan wants to know who you are. As Naruto smiled, the name is Uzumaki Naruto. As the other medical ninjas smiled and decided to report this information to their head of the Uzumaki clan, while in the office of the Uzumaki head, Uzumaki Ashina threw the scroll towards the wall with immense force. How dare they? As Uzumaki Ashina was angry, around him were the elders of the Uzumaki clan. As one of the elders spoke up, you should calm down, clan head. We have to. This is the order of the Hokage, and we must comply because we want the protection of Konoha. You and I both know that the Uzumaki clan may be powerful. We may be able to compete with one or two villages thanks to our sealing power, and that they dare not use the power of the Biju against us. But the other villages want our sealing array to make perfect Jinchurikis like that of Konoha, and we need the protection of Konoha against these villages. So we must obey the orders of Hokage. As Uzumaki Ashina glared towards the elder, but decided not to say anything. After all, the elder was right, but Kushina was his own daughter, and Konoha has somehow found out that Kushina was a had a chakra that could suppress the nine tails, so they demand that they hand over Kushina. Not only that, it was not even a request. The Konoha shinobi were already on their way to bring Kushina back to Konoha. They've only sent this message through a hawk, and the Konoha shinobi will be here by the end of today. As Uzumaki Ashina was angry about the situation but helpless as well. After all, they were a minor village and they may be powerful, being able to take on one or two hidden villages. But if all the other villages come together to take care of them, then they would be in deep trouble. They were only happy that they've already planted their absolute barriers around the Uzumaki village, so no one would be able to enter the Uzumaki village without them knowing and the barrier stopping them. So they were happy about it. But unknown to them, the information of the barrier were already in the hands of Konoha, and if it is in the hands of the Danzo Shimura, then it is in the hands of all the other villages. After all the other villages are ready to take care of the Uzumaki clan as soon as possible and divide the sealing power of the Uzumaki clan among themselves, while on the other hand, Tsukumo, Hatake, along with the team of Ambu, were already rushing in the direction of the Uzumaki village. This was the mission given to them to bring Uzumaki Kushina back to Konoha as soon as possible. After all, the other villages are getting impatient and they have to bring Uzumaki Kushina back so that they can start their plan. But these people do not know about it. Only Sakumo knew little thing about it but decided not to say anything. After all, he was loyal to Hokage. As a head of Ambu, his only mission is to serve the Hokage and obey all of his orders and not think too much of these things. And finally, they will be in the Uzumaki village by the end of day and they have to bring back Uzumaki Kushina by the very day. After all, they cannot wait any longer. As elders look towards Ashina, we have already decided, Ashina, and you have to obey this order. We need the protection of Konoha, and the Mito Uzumaki has already spoken, so you do not have right to disobey. As Ashina gritted his teeth but nodded nonetheless. After all, the Uzumaki village must be protected, and Konoha's protection is needed for the Uzumaki village continues survival. As Ashina simply sighed at that, if only Uzumaki village was even more powerful. While, on the other hand, the shinobi of Konoha had already arrived in the Uzumaki village as Uzumaki Ashina decided to meet with them, but unknown to these people, one figure was watching this silently from one of the towers around them. This was the figure of our protagonist, Uzumaki Naruto. At the moment, he was looking towards the Ambu. After looking toward the symbol of Konoha, murderous intent appeared in Naruto's eyes, but it disappeared as soon as it appeared and his eyes finally met with those of the white hair figure. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, he could feel this chakra. It was similar to Kakashi sensei, but this must be the father of Kakashi, Sakumo Hatake. He knew some things about this figure, but not that much. After all, Sakumo was dead long time ago, but now Naruto no longer influenced by the power of by the power of Ashura. He could think of many things, so he obviously knew about the fate of Sakumo, but he wanted to see if Sakumo is even worthy of being spared. If he's not, then he will only meet with one fate as Naruto closes his eyes, as all the shinobi world was under his sensory range. As Naruto could feel that thousands and thousands upon shinobi were already surrounding the Uzumaki country. Even many of Konoha's elites were silently at the border of the Uzumaki country. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, it seemed that the time was already upon them for the siege of all the five countries. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, inside of him, Kurama spoke up. As he said, well, it seemed that these Konoha shinobi are here to bring Uzumaki Kushina back to Konoha village. So what are you gonna do about it, Naruto? Are you gonna let your mother go back to Konoha? After all, you will not be born if she do not meet with Minato. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that. As for Minato, Naruto do not care too much about it. Maybe he will pay a visit to Konoha and bring Minato back to the Uzumaki country. He's just a child, so he will not think too much of it anyway. After all, Naruto doubt that Minato have that much loyalty to Konoha. After all, he's only at the age of 3 at this point, as Naruto thought in his mind. After all, Naruto may have some attachment to Minato and Kushina, but these people are different than his original parents. After all, this is a separate timeline. As Kurama inside of him spoke up, alright Naruto, this may be past, but your existence is permanent. The time cannot erase it. Even if Minato and Kushina do not come together, your existence will remain as it is. As Naruto simply nodded at that, he could feel that already his Rinnegan was simply too powerful. The power of the Ten Tails inside of him. This kind of power cannot be erased that easily just by disturbing time. Finally, Sakumo looked towards the head of the Uzumaki clan, Uzumaki Ashina Sama. This is the order from Lord Hokage. We have to bring Uzumaki Kushina back to Konoha as soon as possible. The situation of Mito Uzumaki Sama is not very well, and we have to bring the next Jinchuriki back to Konoha. As Ashina gritted his teeth at that, he wanted to, you can say, talk and spend more time with his daughter, but it seemed that Konoha seemed to be in hurry. Could it be that the situation of Mito Uzumaki is really that bad? As Uzumaki Ashina frowned at that, but one of the elder of the Uzumaki clan stepped forward as he said, Ashina, this is not the time. As Ashina sighed but nodded nonetheless, do not worry, Kushina is ready. As from a small door, one figure arrived. This was the figure of Kushina with her maid, and some of the ceiling scrolls that were present there. As Ashina spoke up, Kushina, this is thing for you. We have already told you you are gonna live in Konoha for some time, but do not worry. Your family is still present in the Uzumaki clan. If you ever want to come back, then Uzumaki clan will definitely welcome you with open arms. While on the other hand, Sakumo frowned at that. He have to report this back to Lord Hokage. He may not know too much about what is going on in the world at this point and what are the plans of Lord Hokage for the Uzumaki country, but situations like this have to be explained to him. After all, Kushina is supposed to be the next Jinchuriki of Konoha. Her loyalty should only remain with Konoha. It is only right. After all, if Uzumaki Kushina is gonna be the next Jinchuriki, her loyalties cannot remain with the Uzumaki country. As a displeasure passed through the face of Sakomo as he looked towards Ashina, but he already knew some things. After all, he was the head of Ambu, so many things he could access that maybe Uzumaki clan would not survive today, as he thought in his mind. As Kushina gave a sad smile but nodded nonetheless, as Ashana gave him some of the sealing scrolls as well as some other things to Kushina and decided to, you can say goodbye to Kushina as well as Konoha Shinobi quickly, you can say, put their hand on Kushina and disappear from the place towards the sea. As Ashana sighed at that, he could only hope that Konoha will uphold their end of the bargain and protect the Uzumaki country. They do not have power to disobey Konoha at this point, as he sighed at that and decided to leave back towards his office, while on the other hand, a shinobi finally appeared in the office of Ashina, Lord Ashina. That half-blood Uzumaki has woken up in the hospital. As Ashina raised an eyebrow at that, so did he tell you who he is and why did he appear in this place? As the shinobi nodded at that, he called himself Uzumaki Naruto. At this, Ashina raised an eyebrow at that. Naruto, you say, and what other things? But before he can say anything, a sensory barrier was simply sent signal as Ashina eyes widened at that, while on the other hand, several alarms went off in the country, in the village of the Uzumaki as Ashina was confused. What is going on here? Kushina had just left few hours ago and now the sensory barrier is showing someone is trying to interfere. No, this kind of alarm, someone has already disabled the barrier. He was confused about the whole situation as a Ambu quickly appeared in the room of the head of the Uzumaki clan, Lord Shiner. The barrier, it is going down on itself. Something is off. Someone has disabled all the barriers, and there are several shinobis coming from the side of the Mist Village and from the side of Kumo Shinobi as well as the Rock Shinobi. As Ashina was taken aback, what is going on here? How could such a thing ever appear? After all, even if these villages want to attack the Uzumaki country, Konoha will never agree to it. But Ashina eyes widened at that. The impatience of the Konoha Shinobi, how quickly they took away Kushina. On top of that, the moment after few hours after their departure, the shinobi has appeared to attack as a new scenario came to the mind of Uzumaki Ashina as he gritted his teeth. Damn Konoha, they have betrayed them. They have taken away Kushina as the next Jinchuriki, and it seemed that to them the usefulness of the Uzumaki clan has come to an end. After all, Kushina is present in Konoha. Uzumaki Mito is also there, and all the knowledge of Uzumaki Mito, no doubt, she would have already given it to Konoha. So the heritage of the sealing arts is already in the hands of Konoha. The next Jinchuriki is in the hands of Konoha. And to ensure the loyalty of the Jinchuriki, the next Jinchuriki, the Uzumaki clan has to be eliminated. Damn it, damn Konoha, damn Sartobi Hiruzen, and damn Mito Uzumaki as Ashina roar at that. After all, such a thing cannot be hidden from Mito Uzumaki. Maybe she has already chosen between Konoha and her Uzumaki family. After all, she was married away at the age of 16. So many years have passed. She already had grandchildren. So in her eyes, maybe Konoha and the Senju family is far above that of the Uzumaki clan and family. So she must have, you can say, agreed and given a tacit approval to this situation as Ashina gritted his teeth. Quickly gather all of our shinobi and bring more barrier and emergency barrier. They may have the knowledge given to them by Uzumaki Mito and the other barriers, but we have already placed more barriers, so activate them and bring all of our shinobi together. We have to fight this. At this, the elders has already appeared there and they were ready to put down their life to protect the Uzumaki country and the village, while on the other hand, Sakumo has already landed on the borders of the Fire Country and the elites of the Konoha Shinobi were already present there. These were the elites of Ambu and the Root that were present there. As Sakumo could feel that the elites of Konoha were already rushing in the direction of the Uzumaki country, and Sukumu doubts that they are there to help the Uzumaki clan. After all, he was the head of Ambo, so he knew many things about it. As a Sai, looking in the direction of the Uzumaki country, but as a Konoha shinobi, he knew about the logic behind it. After all, Uzumaki Mito may be the wife of the first Hokage, but Kushina cannot have more relatives outside of Konoha. Uzumaki country is simply far too powerful with their seals and their knowledge and their long lives and chakra. Even Mito Uzumaki had to agree to that. After all, she has already given a tacit approval, while in the Konoha, Uzumaki Mito look in the direction of the Uzumaki country as Sai at that. She has to protect Konoha. After all, she was the wife of the first Hokage. The dream of Hashirama was Konoha, and she could only be sorry for the Uzumaki clan. Konoha, even if Konoha do not betray the Uzumaki clan, then they would have to fight against all the other four villages, and Konoha cannot have a ward at this point. So she could only be sorry for the Uzumaki clan. She could only give one last order to Hiruzen that Konoha shinobi will not slaughter the shinobi of the Uzumaki clan, they will only bring back the mask of the Shinigami. After all, in the original timeline, the mask of the Shinigami lies within Konoha, not in the Uzumaki country. So, someone must have brought them here, and there would be no reason for the Uzumakis to hand over such a powerful technique to Konoha for safekeeping. After all, there were no Uzumakis other than Uzumaki Mito. So, these masks must have been brought back by Konoha Shinobi at some point. So they were sent there to bring back the mask of the Shinigami. After all, those are the secret techniques of the Uzumaki clan. So this was the main purpose of the Konoha Shinobi being there, other than looting and bringing back more money and things like that and stealing scrolls. While on the other hand, Sakumo as well as Shinobi of Ambu were rushing in the direction of Konoha. Uzumaki Kushina was already knocked unconscious by Sakumo, and at this point he was holding her, and suddenly Sakumo's eyes widened stop. As all the Ambu stopped at that, someone was ahead. As Sakumo eyes narrowed at that, this chakra and this power, he could feel it. This figure, it is definitely a powerful figure, maybe on a level of a Kage. From the trees, a figure has finally appeared in front of everyone. This was none other than our protagonist, as Naruto looked towards Sakomo with a raised eyebrow at that. As Naruto's eyes met to the figure of Uzumaki Kushina, who seemed to be unconscious, as Naruto looked towards Sakomo. I will only say it once, hand over Uzumaki Kushina, and I will let you live for old time's sakes. As Sakomo, I raised an eyebrow at that statement but decided not to say anything. I do not know who you are, but you are. You must stand away, otherwise we will not show you any mercy. As Sakuma brought out his, you can say, famous sword as he threw Uzumaki Kushina towards one of the Ambu. He was ready for the battle. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, I will give you only one last opportunity. Stand back. At this, Sakumo gritted his teeth and channeled all of his power as he disappeared from the eyes of all the Ambu. As he was in front of Naruto within seconds, his sword ready to meet the neck of Naruto, but Naruto casually moved his one finger, and his one finger met with the sword of Sakumo as a sound was made as Sakumo's sword was shattered into small pieces as Naruto casually looked towards Sakumo as a giant Rasengan was formed in Naruto's hand as Sakumo tried to disappear, but Naruto also disappeared at the same time as he was upon Sakumo. Giant Rasengan. With that, Naruto slammed his gigantic Rasengan into Sakumo, who was unable to dodge the attack. After all, Naruto at this point, after merging with the 10 tears, merging with all the power of Ashura and the merging with the power of Sage of the Sixth Path himself, his level is far above of anyone in the shinobi world. Even a cage level shinobi like Sakumo is nothing compared to Naruto. And with that single Rasengan, Sakumo was sent flying through the trees as other Ambus were taken aback. After all, Sakumo's speed is said to be one of the best in the shinobi world, and Naruto has casually taken care of their captain as the other Ambu looked towards each other and started to go through hand sign while two of the Ambu tried to bring Uzumaki Kushina back to Konoha with blinding speeds, but Naruto simply made one hand sign Shadow Clone Jutsu. With that, several Shadow Clones appeared all around the place as all the Ambus looked towards each other in utter horror after sensing the immense chakra within the Shadow Clones. And within seconds, Naruto has destroyed all the Ambus that were present there and grabbed Uzumaki Kushina. As Naruto looked towards the face of Kushina and sighed at that, after all, after years of being isolated and being feared by everyone, or having all of his efforts destroyed, even looking toward the youthful face of his mother, Naruto cannot bring any emotion of joy to his face, but Naruto still grabbed Kushina and disappeared from the place, while on the other hand, the Uzumaki country was fighting against all the shinobi of the four villages as Ashina has already brought out his chakra chains and his sword and all of his techniques, and at the moment he was looking toward the third Raikage and the third Tsuchikage, as well as the third Mizukage, as Ashina was breathing hard. At this point, he was exhausted. He was fighting against three Kages, while on the other hand, the third Kazekage seemed not to be present in this battlefield. While on the other hand, these Kages were looking towards Ashina with smirks on their faces as Tsuchikage spoke up. "Huh, well, Ashina, did you really thought that after working with Konoha, they will provide you with anything? After all, you would have already figured it out. After all, only Konoha knew about the barriers and how to deactivate them and how to appear around the Uzumaki country without the notice of the Uzumaki people as Ashina gritted his teeth at that damn Konoha as he spoke up, while on the other hand, Third Raikage spoke up, alright, enough of it. It is time for you to die. The head of the Uzumaki country, the seals of the Uzumakis are simply too dangerous. After all, the Bijus are considered to be the ultimate weapons of their country, but what's the meaning of that? That all the Uzumaki clan members have their sealing arts. On top of that, their chakra chains, all of them have the power to suppress any Biju. Even the someone as powerful as the Nine Tails could be suppressed with the sealing power of Kushina, and you cannot think that the other members of the Uzumaki clan do not have these seals. After all, even if Kushina is considered to be an elite Jonin at the time when she sealed the Nine Tails using her chakra chains at the birth of Naruto, then a Chunin should have the power to even suppress the 4 or 5 tails. That powerful were the chains of the Uzumaki. On top of that, their sealing powers were something else. Their immense chakra, they can, you can say, simply throw B level jutsus like it was nothing. And shadow clones, they were simply made for the Uzumaki clan. They were simply far too dangerous, and the other villages simply cannot stand for it. Raikage spoke up, alright, enough of this. It is time for you to die, Ashina. You were powerful, and your Uzumaki country was powerful, but I, as the Raikage, have a duty to my village. So, I will only say it once. Kindly die. With that, Raikage powered up his armor, lightning armor, as he pointed one finger towards Ashina as he disappeared. And with blinding speed, he was already upon Ashina. But before his finger made contact with Ashina, one figure stepped between Ashina and Raikage. This was the figure of our protagonist, Naruto, as Naruto casually looked towards third Raikage and spoke one word, Shinra Tensei. With that, an immense gravitational force slammed into the finger of the third Raikage, and the third Raikage's arm was broken. In the opposite direction, he himself was sent flying with immense speed and power. And remember, Naruto had the Rinnegan of the Sage of Six Paths. It was far too powerful compared to the Rinnegan of Pain or Madara. So, do not underestimate its powers. As Naruto casually looked toward the third Raikage as well as the other Kages, I will only say it once, just like I told those weaklings before. Walk away while you still can. Otherwise, I will show you no mercy. With that, Naruto channeled his immense chakra as all the fighting in the whole Uzumaki really stopped for a second after sensing this kind of power, as Naruto was not even using the power of the 10 tails or the 9 tails. After all, 2 years isolated, Naruto was training hard and his chakra levels itself were already comparable to that of the 9 tails. Naruto himself was the reincarnation of Ashura chakra with the blessing of the Sage of Six Paths, and the power of Sage of Six Paths was also merged with Naruto's own. And at the time of the reincarnation of Hashirama Senju, he said that Naruto had almost as much chakra as in himself. And since Hashirama was the reincarnation of Ashura, and his chakra levels were more than half of the 9 tails, so just think how much chakra Naruto alone has, since he also was the reincarnation of Ashura with the power of the Sage of Six Paths mixed in it. On top of that, he was the Jinchuriki of 2 most powerful Bijus in existence. Naruto's chakra alone was comparable to that of the 9 tails in the original timeline. As the fighting stopped for a second, but the shinobi quickly came out of their stupor as Naruto looked towards all the 3 Kages with murderous intent in his eyes. As the Raikage spoke of, "Damn brat, you will pay for it," as Raikage powered up his fully lightning armor as the third Tsuchikage powered up his, you can say, particle dismantling jutsu. He had a bad feeling about Naruto. While on the other hand, the third Mizukage also powered up his most powerful attack as Naruto saw. With that, Naruto opened his eyes showing the Rinnegan, then so be it. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here, so hopefully guys enjoyed it. For the next part, the like goal is 100 likes, 20 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. So yeah guys, see you soon in the next part. Peace.